In the shadowed valleys of Emmerdale, where secrets fester like open wounds and the wind whispers tales of betrayal and resurrection. A van screeched to a halt on a desolate road, its tires kicking up gravel like scattered bones from a forgotten grave. Little did Aaron know, as he stepped out into the crisp, unforgiving air, that this seemingly ordinary move to a quaint cottage would unravel a web of lies so twisted. It would shake the very foundations of his world and reveal that Mack, the man he thought he knew, was not just alive in body, but harboring a ghost from a past drenched in agony and deceit. It started innocently enough, or so it seemed. Aaron, with his heart full of hope for a fresh start, pulled up to the old house, its windows staring back like hollow eyes. "Wow," he muttered under his breath, the word escaping like a gasp in the eerie silence. Swelled in the background, a haunting melody that seemed to echo from the walls themselves. "Mack, it's me again. I've tried calling," he said into his phone, his voice laced with frustration, but there was no answer, only the ominous sight of a familiar van parked haphazardly at the side of the road. "Is that your van parked at the side of the road?" "Yeah. Why are we blocking you?" "No, not at all." Before he could process the growing unease, a figure emerged from the mist-shrouded path, a neighbor, her eyes sharp as daggers, approaching with a smile that didn't quite reach her soul. "March, I'm your neighbor." "That way. Aaron. I knew an Aaron once. You were a lovely guy. So helpful, so polite." Her words dripped with false warmth, but Aaron felt a chill snake down his spine. "Well, it's lovely to see the place being occupied again. I thought I'd come over and say hello. Are you buying the place?" No," Aaron replied, his voice steady despite the knot forming in his gut. "My husband's spoken to the owner about it, but I'm just renting it for now." The neighbor's face twisted into a mask of mock surprise, her revelation dropping like a bombshell in the quiet afternoon. "The owner? Are you sure about that?" "Yeah. Why? She died over a year ago. I mean, granted, I did go to the funeral, but I know people who did. Sorry, she..." The words hung in the air like a death sentence, shattering Aaron's illusions. "She died? Over a year ago?" The ground seemed to tilt beneath him, the house suddenly looming like a mausoleum of hidden horrors. "Anyway, welcome to the neighborhood. It's been lovely meeting you. Do come over for a cup of tea, won't you? You and your husband." As the neighbor vanished into the fog, Aaron's mind raced, a storm of suspicion brewing. He dialed frantically, his fingers trembling. "John, where are you? He's you just call me back when you get this." "You've been lying to me again." The accusation burned in his throat, the betrayal festering like an infected wound. How could this be? The owner dead, the house a relic of tragedy, and John, his own husband, at the center of it all? The confrontation exploded like thunder when John finally appeared, his face pale as a specter risen from the grave. Aaron's eyes blazed with fury as he stormed through the dimly lit rooms, each creak of the floorboards echoing accusations. "This is you, isn't it? This is your room. Your house." His voice cracked, raw with the sting of deception. John revealed in a heart-stopping twist as Mack, the man who'd faked his own demise in whispers of village lore, now alive and cornered, held up his hands in desperate surrender. "Promise. I promise I didn't lie. I got us a cottage, but it fell through last minute. Nothing else was available except..." "We've been here for over a week." "Yeah. Why have you not said anything till now?" Aaron's words lashed out, each one a whip cracking against the fragile trust they'd built. Mack's eyes, haunted by shadows of the past, filled with unshed tears. "Because I couldn't. If I told you, I would have had to explain why I've never mentioned it before and why I don't like coming back here." His confession poured out like blood from a reopened scar. "My mom died in this house." The revelation hit Aaron like a freight train, visions flashing of a woman writhing in torment. Her cries echoing through these very walls. "I didn't know how coming back would affect me, and I didn't want you to be worried. I tried everything. Couldn't save her from the cancer or even ease her suffering. Why should I take her last breath?" Aaron's heart shattered, empathy clashing with rage. "It wasn't your fault," he whispered, but the words felt hollow against the weight of the lie. Mack swore he wasn't trying to keep Aaron in the dark, that he just wasn't ready to talk about her, the mother whose ghostly presence lingered in every dusty corner, her final gasps a curse that had driven Mack to the brink of madness, faking his death to escape the guilt that clawed at his soul. But Aaron pressed on, his own vulnerability spilling forth in a torrent of shared pain. "I don't understand. When I lost my gran to cancer, my mom got diagnosed with it and I was so scared and helpless." The admission bridged their chasms, tears mingling as they clung to each other amidst the ruins of secrets. "Thank you for telling me," Aaron murmured, his voice softening. "And your mom would have been proud of how you turned out. I'm sure of that." In a twist that reignited the spark of hope amid the despair, Mack's eyes lit with a desperate plea. "What if we stayed? I've always loved it here. So many good memories." But the good was tainted by the horror. Aaron could almost hear the phantom screams, see the blood-stained sheets where Mack's mother had battled her invisible demon. "To see my mom suffer, not being able to help it tainted them for me. But having you here, I don't feel like that anymore." Aaron hesitated, the air thick with tension, the house itself seeming to hold its breath. "You were keen on it yesterday," Mack urged, his voice a seductive whisper laced with the thrill of redemption. "I'm just asking you to give it a chance." The decision hung like a guillotine blade. "Okay. Yeah, why not? Let's give it a go." Applause erupted from nowhere, as if the spirits approved, mingled with swelling music that built to a crescendo of eerie triumph. But as they embraced, the music twisted into something darker, whispers of heat. 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 Echoing like a warning from the beyond, hinting at fires yet to rage, perhaps literal blazes set by vengeful ghosts, or the inferno of more lies waiting to consume them both. In Emmerdale, where the dead never truly stay buried, Mack's resurrection was just the beginning of a nightmare that would test their love to its breaking point. As the echoes of their tentative agreement faded into the creaking timbers of the old house, a deceptive calm settled over Emmerdale like a shroud before a storm. Aaron and Mack, now unmasked as the man who'd clawed his way back from the brink of oblivion, stood entwined in the dim glow of the living room, the air thick with the scent of dust and unspoken fears. But beneath the surface, the whispers grew louder. Heat. 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 It started as a faint murmur, like the hiss of embers in a dying fire, but soon it morphed into something tangible, a sweltering wave that clawed at their skin, turning the cozy cottage into a pressure cooker of dread. That night, as shadows danced menacingly across the walls, Aaron jolted awake to the acrid stench of smoke snaking through the cracks in the door. His heart hammered like a war drum, visions of infernos devouring everything he loved flashing before his eyes. "Mack," he gasped, shaking his husband from a fitful sleep. Mack's eyes snapped open, wide with terror that mirrored the guilt he'd buried, deep guilt not just from his mother's agonizing death, but from the fire he'd accidentally started years ago, a blaze born of desperation to end her suffering, one that had nearly consumed the house and his sanity. He'd faked his death to escape the villagers' accusing stares, but now the flames were back, licking at the edges of reality like vengeful spirits summoned from hell. They bolted downstairs, the heat intensifying with every step, waves of scorching air slamming into them like invisible fists. The kitchen was ablaze, a roaring monster of orange and black, flames leaping from the stove where an old, forgotten rag had ignited, or so it seemed. But as Mack grabbed a fire extinguisher, his hands trembling, Aaron spotted something chilling amid the chaos, a shadowy figure darting past the window, the neighbor's face twisted in a maniacal grin, her eyes gleaming with the madness of someone who'd attended that funeral not as a mourner, but as a conspirator in a darker plot. Had she known Mack's secret all along? Was this arson her way of unearthing the truth, or worse, silencing it forever? "Mack, get out!" Aaron screamed, his voice raw as he shoved his husband toward the door, but the flames exploded outward, a deafening roar that shattered glass and hurled debris like shrapnel from a bomb. In that heart-stopping moment, Mack confessed in a whisper choked with smoke, "I didn't just let her die. I helped her go. Mercy, I called it, but it was murder in their eyes." The revelation hit Aaron like a gut punch, trust fracturing anew as the house groaned under the assault, beams cracking like breaking bones. They burst into the night, coughing and singed, collapsing on the dew-slicked grass as sirens wailed in the distance, a symphony of impending doom. But as firefighters battled the inferno, the neighbor emerged from the darkness, her voice dripping with faint concern. "Oh dear, what a tragedy. Houses like this. They hold grudges." Her words hung like a noose, hinting at more horrors to come, hidden letters in the attic revealing Mack's mother wasn't a victim of cancer alone, but of a poison legacy involving the neighbor's own family, a feud that spanned decades and demanded blood. In the flickering glow of the dying fire, Aaron clutched Mack's hand, his mind reeling from the shock's resurrection, mercy killing, arson born of buried vendettas. Yet as the dawn broke, Painting the sky in bloody hues, a new resolve ignited in his eyes. They would uncover the full, twisted truth, or perish in the attempt. But little did they know, the heat was just beginning to rise, with Emmerdale's underbelly stirring to life, ready to drag them into an abyss of betrayal that would make death seem like a merciful escape.